What's up, squad? Back with a bang. No, I'm joking. Not back with a bang. It's episode 11 of the Farside podcast. I'm your boy Farside, and tonight joining us we have Caleb Allport, otherwise known as the man from Release, the man from Luke Bezzy, and now his new project, Walter Cocays. Caleb, how's the game, man?
I'm good, man. You?
Let's get it cracking.
I've been watching a lot of Honeybox lately, actually.
They were so good, weren't they, back in the day?
Sick, yeah.
I thought, for the time, it was so unique, and it was what Stoke needed at that time.
I loved it, man. I don't think they've stopped it for good or anything. No. Have they? Like, I thought it was mint. I was watching the first ever episode with, you remember Exit Pupils?
Yeah, Joe's old band.
Joe and Jimbo.
Yeah.
Fucking sick, mate.
They were, the first time I saw them, I was on, it was when I was in 10 O'Clock Chemical, and it was my first ever headline gig they played, and they just fucking took everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
So I remember my mum walking out going, what the fuck is that, mate?
Yeah.
My shop's better than your shop. Mate.
Fucking, they supported us, like, when I was in Release.
Yeah.
And everybody, was exactly the same. It's like, fucking hell's this? And then my shop's better than your shop in the smoking area. Like,
let's talk about Release for a bit, man, because how did that all start up? Because that's how I knew you from. Because I remember, I think the first time I saw you, I saw a video that you played on BBC Radio Stoke, and it had like fucking, it made you sound like tens of thousands of views. And for me at the time, I was like, whoa, this guy's famous, bro. I was like,
is the inevitable one it? I think
that's.
Was I in a...
Somebody was playing violin, mate, and there was loads
Jack.
of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it was wicked. Yeah.
Nice one. It was, that was with Release. That was maybe 2 years or so into it.
What year was this? Was this like 2014 or...?
We got together in 2014.
Yeah.
And then split up 2019.
Oh, so it was a long ride then.
Yeah, it was, mate.
5 years.
I had a few lineup changes, but... it was fucking sick. Like, I loved it. It was great.
It's probably unique. Was that your project? Was that something that you'd set up?
Partly, yeah. It was me, Mace Nicholson, Tom Price. And we sort of never left the band, if you like. Then there's a couple others, Josh Woody and Ben Roden, and then Rode joined.
Yeah.
And Jack, violin man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still play with Jack now, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
So what was the transition like from going from Release to Luke Bezzy?
Well, Tom, I've just said that Tom never left, but Tom did leave.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the end of the band, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
why did the band end then? Was it something... Or was it just like sort of it just took its toll and that was it?
It was fucking various reasons, really. Like, I feel as though a band works best when you're within a community or a certain situation like college or whatever, where you're all together. You're not forced together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the point where, in our case, a couple of people went to uni, others started jobs locally, blah de blah. Then it sort of got hard, and you know what I mean?
Well, how many was in the band?
Like it was a 5-piece.
It was 5-piece. Well, that's still too much for me, that is, mate.
Yeah. That's why I was fucking me.
Mate, my last band, it was only 3 of us, and that originally I think we had 5 because we had Danny Shaw initially doing the drums as well.
I was watching your Honeybox, actually.
Yeah, in fact, those old videos are really good.
Yeah, they were, man.
And the many different versions of that band was actually pretty cool, if you get to see it from how it started as well. Because it initially started with 3 of us, then it ended up being 5 of us, 4 of us, then it ended up being Mark Crawford and Jack, my mate Jack. Yeah. But even then, I thought, Jesus Christ, this is way too much to handle. Two more people than me, do you know what I mean? And I'm a peacock, mate. Like, there was fucking 2 peacocks on the band when we were in 10 O'Clock Chemical, me and Mark. So yeah, but there was never any hard feelings or anything like that. I hate it when I hear stories about bands that split up because of some personal shit that's gone on.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes you just drift apart, don't you?
Yeah, and it's, it's just natural. Like, it's a part of life.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You just, some people stick with you forever, some people just stick with you through certain phases. Yeah. And that was essentially what it was, to be honest.
Was there, did it have something to do with you moving to Manchester? Because...
No, I only moved Manchester about a year ago.
Yeah.
And that was when I was in Luke Bezzy.
Yeah.
So and then when we split up in like 2019, a couple of them had moved away, and that made it more challenging, like I was saying. But yeah, it's just I suppose Look Busy sort of partly broke up because of like moving away and stuff like that. Just a similar situation.
I can imagine it having big effect really, because it has. I remember when Mark moved up here, it was so much harder to just fucking organise practices and simple things like that, man.
Yeah, and it becomes a chore. And like
exactly,
like I was saying about I think a band works best when you're in the same social circles and stuff like that, because it just happens naturally.
There's that synergy, isn't there? Like, I mean, you're like one thing rather than 3-4 different individuals.
Yeah,
I totally
exactly.
Get that. Yeah.
And then it becomes like a marriage. And
But yeah, man. So we went from Release to Luke Bezzy, and then from Luke Bezzy to I don't know how to pronounce your new project name. Walter Vokays.
Cocays.
Sorry, fucking hell, yeah.
Close enough.
Sorry.
Everyone says, how would you pronounce it? And I didn't, when I made the name, if you like, I didn't even think that like that would be a thing.
What is it then?
So Walter is my granddad's name,
right?
Who I've took a lot of influence throughout my life, and I owe him a lot.
Okay.
He's a very good man. And
Shout out Walter.
He'll be watching.
Nice.
And people call me Kays.
Oh yeah.
And Co-Kays. At the time I was doing quite a lot of cocaine, which was a while ago. Yeah,
mate, same with me. I think I'm 3 months free now, which I know it sounds dead daft saying,
sick,
but
mate.
I think the first time I saw you when I came up Manchester, I was on about it once and I wasn't drinking at the time.
Yeah.
Because I felt like as soon as I come up here, I needed to stop doing that shit that I was doing in Stoke, and this was almost an excuse to become like a new person.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me it's been like 3 months. It feels like an AA meeting now.
That's sick, mate.
But I don't want to go back either. Like it's fucking.
Don't have to, man. I've not touched drugs for. Last time I touched a drug was the World Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
It was like 3 years ago.
Fuck doing drugs whilst watching England play, mate.
Oh, you fucking have to
sometimes.
No, mate, no. Especially after that one.
I know, that was fucking upsetting, wasn't it?
It's fucking devastating, man.
You're comfortable talking about shit like that, though, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's cool, man.
Mate.
But I think people need to know about it as well, because when I mention it on my podcast, people are always like, "Oh, you didn't even fucking say that." It's like, well, I want to be authentic, like, and if you've got problems and shit going on, you need get out there, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's
and if somebody's going through what you're going through as well, and watching it and going, "Oh shit," you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I don't know if you saw, but a while ago in the summer, I had like a bit of a mental breakdown.
Yeah, no, I saw. Like. Yeah.
And like I put a post out about it just to sort of share my thoughts and feelings and experiences. In the hope that it might help somebody and help myself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing. If you vent and you kind of like get it out there, and then you can reflect and you can look at yourself and be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
If you put pen to paper, sometimes it's the most helpful thing you can do.
Yeah.
I think I'm a victim of fucking keeping shit inside me and letting it bottle up, but then it'll come out in the form of like. With you, was it like a fucking big panic attack or something like that?
Yeah. It's like it takes practice to be open with yourself and honest with yourself. It's not something that comes naturally, especially with British people, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's within our culture to sort of
suck it in, like.
And I feel like that's changing a bit now, but
do you want it to be the other way? Because I mean, I think it's a good thing sometimes, because I feel like a strong person, because I don't always vent my problems. I try to deal with it on my own, but when push comes to shove and I get to a certain point of pressure, it's like, no, it's time fucking get help here, do you know what I mean? Or reach out.
Yeah, I find it probably the biggest importance for me personally to share my issues, but I like to sort of vent my issues, if you like, before they're a massive problem.
And nipped in the bud.
Almost like make light of it. Maybe that's the wrong way of putting it, but I like to fucking lost my train of thought, man.
About like sort of speaking about it or dealing with it on yourself.
Yeah, like I like to just say it. Like if it's coming to my head and I feel I'm very predictable, like in here. Do you know what I mean?
So
Like,
you mean
I know what's coming.
Yeah, you know the spiral as soon as it starts.
I know my mind even when it's fucking my head.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I know now through the trauma that I've experienced psychologically that like I know what to do almost.
You know your triggers as well.
Yeah, exactly. And therapy's helped a lot with that. And
You've been doing therapy?
yeah, I did therapy. I had therapy. Well, I applied for therapy about 3 years ago. That took 11 months.
Fucking hell.
I know, it's fucking
That's
insane.
another issue though.
Yeah, it's
my
massive.
my
mate.
mate went through the same thing. He was getting fucking batty and he knew it, and we were all trying to help him. And the help he got was like this fucking typical things we know about. Why didn't you get a cup of tea? Why didn't you have a bath?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my fucking god.
I know, yeah.
I need somebody to talk to, you know.
I know.
And it took him so long to get through to anybody.
I found, especially with GPs, is you really have to push it.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people that are mentally ill, that already feel like a burden on
Yeah.
people, like
Yeah.
they're not gonna take very well to pushing for help. It's already a massive step.
I wonder if I don't think it's prioritised though.
No,
I
it
think
isn't.
that's my experience of it.
No, it's not prioritised and it's massively.
I never got
underfunded.
I never got diagnosed with anxiety. I just self-diagnosed because,
Yeah.
to be honest, the doctors weren't fucking helping.
No.
I remember the first time I was experiencing panic attacks and I thought there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I remember the doctor just saying like, "Oh well, you needn't to worry about it," and I was like, "Fucking great advice."
it's
That really
useless.
helped for the next 10 years. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I had
and-
to figure out how to deal with my own brain, and
Yeah.
when I'm feeling uncomfortable, how to comfort myself because I didn't get no help from the system as such. You know?
Like I feel as though when you share sort of your troubles or your overthinking with people, sometimes they say like, "Oh, just stop thinking about it. It's useless." I don't blame people for saying that because for a lot of people, they don't actually know what to say to help.
A lot of it's down to nescience, and I always say this: there's a difference between nescience and ignorance. And ignorant people are the ones that know, but they choose not to. Nescience is when you're just completely oblivious to what's going on. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people sometimes when they say that, it's because they've never experienced it. They can't help you, or they can't put themselves in your shoes at all.
Yeah, possibly.
So you can't blame them sometimes.
No, not at all. But it's like if someone were to be non-understanding of that situation and say something that could cause offence or upset, if they were to say like, stop thinking about it or whatever, I would say in return that, if you had the fucking shits, you wouldn't say to someone, stop having the shits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the fucking same thing.
Or
man.
don't think about a pink elephant. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
exactly.
Well,
yeah.
like that was one of the first things a therapist ever said to me.
Yeah.
Was like, fucking try not to think of a white polar bear. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's true. You know what I mean? You just I find that it's the best thing to do is to accept your anxiety.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah, acknowledgement is a massive part of healing, if you like.
Yeah. I agree with that as well. I've always got myself out of sticky mind messes by just kind of accepting it. I remember reading something once about a boat travelling, and they were saying about when you've got problems and when you've got chatter in your head, like look at the boat and not the waves. You know what I mean? So the waves are crashing, they're going around you. Just kind of let it flow, like But keep your focus on the boat and not the fucking waves themselves. You know?
Yeah, I've heard a similar. What are they called?
Like,
analogies.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Something like that. I was fucking never good at English too.
No, it is an analogy. It is an analogy.
Ah, well, there we go. That like you're on a hill looking at a motorway, and the cars represent your thoughts. And when you struggle with overthinking and stuff, the worst thing to do would be to run in traffic and try and stop those cars or thoughts.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is just stay on that hill and observe. Don't engage emotionally with them.
Yeah.
I think I feel like that's a good.
How are you feeling now then in yourself? Are you
Very
improving?
well. Yeah, very
That's good,
well, man.
That's good to
Like,
hear.
I think one of the biggest things of like the biggest misconception of getting help and recovering is that you have this thought, or I have, where at the start I'd be like, right, I'm never going to think these thoughts again, like, these triggering thoughts and stuff like that. But that, to me, in my experience, hasn't been the case. Like, I still get those thoughts every day.
Yep.
They just aren't a big deal to me anymore as much as they were, say, 6 months ago. I try not to engage emotionally in them, and also I try, I'm that because I've got stronger, if you like, and learned how to sort of cope with those thoughts and feelings. They're not as much of a big deal.
I think the worst thing that can happen though sometimes is, because I've gone through phases of anxiety myself, right? And I was like self-diagnosed, as I said, when I think I was like 17. But it never really goes away, because like once it's there, it's kind of like, wow, it's stuck there, and I can remember thinking in the loop and patterns that I can.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I overthink about that, I'll end up putting myself into that fucking spiral again.
Yeah.
And this is a reason why I actually quit cocaine 3 months ago, because I hadn't felt anxious for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself in a situation. I fucking went back I had a drink in the pub, went back to someone on the fucking sesh as usual, instead of going home at an appropriate time. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's get another bag. And then sometimes when you do coke, you lose all your inhibitions, don't you? I think that's another reason why people don't understand why people go to cocaine as well. It's because I always feel honest when I'm on it, and I always feel unashamed to talk about anything, you know? And I think that drug was my vent for a lot of years. And I had to fucking realise, like, oh my God, I wasn't just using it recreationally. I was using it for my own mental, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
To like sort of unleash some bits of my fucking brain out to the world that I'd kept inside myself.
One thing I've realised is, when I look back when I was younger, I wanted to do drugs.
Yeah.
Because I thought, for various reasons, you start off, like, when you start smoking, you do it because it's fucking, you think it's cool or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I wanted to do drugs because I thought that's what people expect of me, and also that because I'm in a band or whatever, like, I've got some sort of...
It adds to the image. And
it adds to the image of me, it
gives you personality.
An anomaly or fucking enigma or any of that sort of bullshit.
It says bullshit.
Yeah, it's absolute
and
bollocks.
It's a shame sometimes you get to a certain age and then you realise and you go, well, you fucking stupid.
That's one, man. Yeah, absolutely. And, like, one thing that I realised, it took me a long time and a lot of fucking weed and coke to realise that
a lot of Jeffries.
I'm enough as I am, man. You know what I mean? I've always been a fucking freak.
Yeah.
Even when I've been a child, I'm enough. Everyone's enough. You know what I mean? And but I completely understand why people do it.
Man, I can't.
And if you do it purely because you love it, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, imagine, like, when I was 16, going out and getting fucked out of my head, and, like, waking up and just cracking on with life.
Yeah.
Like, imagine having that liberty, man. You know what I mean? That freedom to, like, not wake up with anxiety or
that fucking
like a million horrid thoughts in your head and fucking all that shit.
Well,
like,
that's another reason why I stopped as well, because I think age took its toll, and eventually you're just like, God, this is making me more depressed. This is making me feel more like shit.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I don't seek it out now. Like, when I go out, I'm on the fucking Coca-Cola, which is another bad thing though, right? Because that night I met you, and where was it? The old, what was it called? The plant pot.
Pint pot.
Pint pot. That was it. Fucking plant pot. I'm an idiot.
What
a cool venue that is, though, man.
Great,
it's a nice venue.
Really good.
And I remember I was like, right, I'm not drinking tonight. And it was the first time I'd been out in a long time since coming up here, because I've been quite lonely, to be honest. But that's alright. I'm pretty introverted anyway, so I'm healthy in my head. But I remember I must have fucking drank about 6 litres of Coca-Cola, and I come home, mate, and I felt fucking worse. I couldn't sleep, mate. I couldn't sleep. I was like,
heart palpitations if I drink too much of it.
Well, I'm sure I've got caffeine sensitivity.
Yeah, I have.
But it makes people laugh because I can fucking chug back copious amounts of cocaine. But if I have like a cup of strong German coffee, I'm fucking jittery, mate. I can't fucking handle this.
Fucking hell, mate. I would recommend just getting on the fucking lime or blackcurrant and soda.
Well, I'm glad you're a fan of hearty water like myself. Like, mate, not a lot of people like sparkling water.
Well, I love sparkling water, but someone said to me once that it tastes like pins and needles.
That's what Mark said. Mark said it tastes like TV static.
I mean, like, I like fucking nice bit of pins and needles to me, mate.
It tastes fucking refreshing, mate. Cheers, mate. Man. But yeah, no, so get back to that story. The last time I did it, I was involved in that fucking white powder shit, I was obviously like spewing, and we had like a proper deep conversation, and obviously everyone's fucking trauma came out to the surface. But it fucking overwhelmed me for some reason on this particular night. I think I'd done that too much, and my mate was telling me some really depressing stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I need to go, because I feel horrible.
Yeah.
And I remember walking home, and I had the worst panic attack I had in about fucking 8 years. And it was like, oh my God, you idiot, I'm back. Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like. I'm like, all this year I've been fine and stress-free and sort of, you know, getting on with my life, and that's been at the foot and in the background. Now all of a sudden I've brought it up to the surface. I mean, some people say, well, it's you're blaming the substance, but it was already in your head, like that just brought it up. But I'm like, well, no, really, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have put myself in that fucking anxious position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Changing my physiological circumstances, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And since I've stopped, mate, I've come up here, I've been going to the gym, I'm doing Farside every week. I feel so much more healthy, and I can't reinstate enough how that people should do that. If they're going down that road and they're stopping like I did, if they're stopping, then you have to replace it with something that's going to give you the same stimulation, you know, but maybe more in a more healthy way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just it's important to channel your need for a release from life, if you like.
Yeah,
but channel it positively,
exactly,
rather than trying. It sort of coincides with all that, you know, acknowledging your issues.
Yeah,
you know, because I feel like alcohol and cocaine, etc., doesn't acknowledge your issues. It just sort of, you just try and push it down, and suppress it, and that one day it's just gonna fucking explode. You know what I mean?
And it's a good job you're a musician then as well, isn't it? Because that's
it's fucking therapy, mate. Like in the summer, I felt like I couldn't even go out of the house, and a friend of mine said to me, just stay creative, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Just stay creative. So I got a guitar from my nan's, because my uncle fucking left it there, and I just learnt a load of covers, because my confidence was that low, man. Like I didn't even feel like I could write a song anymore. Like my aims were to like start playing covers in pubs and stuff like that, which obviously nothing wrong with, but that's not my dream, if you like. And yeah, like to reflect on that and see where I am now, you know, starting off a new solo project and achieving what I've achieved already, like, you know, fucking stand back and be like, doing yourself proud, kid.
Yeah, you fucking have, mate. Bloody hell. What's this project about then? Like, so obviously, is this what came out of it? Did it come out of you?
Yeah, it did. It did come out of it, to be honest. Like, look, I when I was bedbound, if you like, and fucking watching Richard Osman's House of Games on fucking tap.
Fucking hell. Shout out.
It's still a fucking good show, man.
Oh, sound then.
I wrote a bit of an EP that, well, I sort of carried on an EP that I'd written in the first lockdown on like an acoustic, but I never really did anything proper with it. And I just felt like it was my calling, you know, like Look Busy was great and I loved the music we were making, but I didn't love doing it anymore. I sort of fell out of love with music and, well, that performance and stuff. That all sort of coincided with my mental illness as well, because I didn't have the confidence to have any belief that I was capable of being a confident person on stage again. And like I just carried on with the EP that I sort of half finished in the first lockdown, and then I remember moving back up to Manchester because I went back to my mum's for a while. Yeah. And maybe the first day I got there, I was like, I want to play an open mic, and I've got a couple of covers and an original. So I tracked an open mic down at a place called Lion's Den in Deansgate, and I played, and I that was sort of the start of it. And when I remember when I was there, I had all these massive, overwhelming existential thoughts. Like, that was what I was struggling with at the time. Like, it's it's just crazy fucking thoughts that are so beyond our control, you know, from an outsider's perspective, why there is literally no point in thinking about it, like to the extent of being like, is this even real? Like the thing that scared me the most was dissociation and depersonalization.
Oh fuck, I've had that.
Yeah, it's vile. Like you feel almost like you're in a fucking film or a cartoon.
Or you're not even here, you're not even inside your body. It's like, it's kind of like...
Yeah. Did I say derealization?
Depersonalization and dissociation.
Yeah, and derealization, I think. I don't know.
What's that?
Fucking
Derealization.
I don't know. It's so whatever those three are.
Yeah.
Whatever I was just saying, it's one of them three.
Yeah.
They're sort of like...
Yeah, they're sort of the same thing anyway.
Yeah, similar experiences, but they're fucking terrifying, man.
Yeah.
And then you get like, I had this sort of existential issues of being like, well, if I mean nothing and I'm just this fucking molecule floating around in space, like, what's the point in living?
This sounds like all of my fucking bad mushroom trips combined, like, and that's what it fucking can be.
I've never even fucking done them, mate, so I'm definitely never going near them.
I can't touch mushrooms because every time I do them, I always end up in an existential fucking dread moment, like 2 or 3 hours in, just because how my brain functions, mate. I'll tell you some fucking. I'll tell you on my face. Bad trip on mushrooms. I was doing them, and it was fucking great. The first hour, I was laughing at everything. I was laughing at how my mate was eating a melon because everything's just hilarious and wonderful.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about enough is when the fucking room and the atmosphere drops and you're just on your own, like. Anyway, I wanted to go home because I wasn't feeling it. I was just like, oh, something's weird here. But I made a stupid mistake of everyone we all had a brew of mushrooms and somebody left all the lumps inside, And I was one that was like, I can't feel anything, I'm going to have some more.
Yeah.
So I fucking knocked everyone's clumps back, which is fucking heavy as bits, These are what Terence McKenna would call a heroic dose, like fucking, who's that comedian that went on about it? Fucking hell, he's one of my favourites, Bill X. I took like a heroic dose, I guess, and I remember walking outside thinking I could walk home. And I remember seeing this dandelion right, and I knew I was fucking high as shit because the way the dandelion was, it was just like nothing else mattered but this damn dandelion. And it was all shiny and bright. It sounds funny and nice, but it wasn't because I was like, I'm clearly high as fuck, and my head was spinning. And the weirdness of it, I thought I was turning into a chameleon, right? And it's such a stupid idea to entertain. But when you're in that state of mind,
it
can fuck you up. Like, because my
absolutely.
eyes kept moving like this, right?
Yeah,
and there's a crisp packet on the floor blowing, and my eyes went, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm turning into a chameleon. My fucking eyes are going crazy. Anyway, I heard this car, nowhere to fly, like just go around my fucking head, and I thought, what the fuck is going on here? I was in the middle of the fucking the main motorway that goes from Newcastle in
M6.
No,
A500.
At the A, it doesn't even matter.
Shit.
The 884.
We sound like some fucking old man.
I know, totally. Which route are you going? Well, the route I went on this fucking particular trip was the A34, right?
That's it.
And basically, I was standing in the middle of the motorway like a dick because I was high as shit.
Hell,
and the dandelion, I don't know if it was existing or not, like, you know what I mean? I was just in the middle of the road, and I realised, I need to go back. And I remember going back and just having an 8-hour panic attack until the trip was over.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up the next day and like touching the table and being like, oh my God, I'm back to base reality, like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And when you can get over anxious, like when I have bad anxiety the pattern is exactly the same as that, like that frame of thought. It's like really irrational things that go through your fucking brain, man.
Absolutely, man.
It's so hard trying to explain to people.
No, it is, and it's hard. It's hard to articulate it, but it's also hard to share it because it sounds fucking mental. Yeah. Like I wouldn't, if I were to tell that to somebody. You know, I've usually people have said like, I get you, because like you've had similar experiences, and this is the importance of sharing, obviously. Yeah. But you know, when you're sort of feeling insular, you feel like people will just turn around and go, "You're fucking nuts, mate." Yeah. And I when I was experiencing these sort of triggering thoughts, I thought I was going mental.
Yeah,
I thought I was going insane. I remember ringing like the doctors and Samaritans and stuff. I was like, I feel like I need to be sectioned.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm a danger to people, and I feel like I need help. Like every day feels like it's getting worse, and I'm collapsing within myself, and that's what it felt like. I felt like I was never gonna get better. I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrifying, man. Honestly, like it's fucking weird. But like going back to what you were saying about like on shrooms and tripping and shit, like from a very young age, that always fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like I remember being about 13 or 14 and thinking it sounds fucking ace, but when a few of my mates started doing it at a similar time, and I was like, I smoked a lot of weed,
Yeah.
really young. Like, first started smoking weed when I was like 13, and then I smoked it a lot for my age. And you know, it's looking back, you're like, you're so fucking young, and
Do you think
your mind isn't even fully developed,
No,
man? Like
yeah.
you're not like. You've not got the mental capacity to smoke.
It's a shame
to the excess.
It's a shame we go through that pressure at that age, you know.
Yeah,
because it can
yeah,
really,
it is.
it can be the bane of people's lives eventually.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And weed is a funny one because it's something that I actually advocate, and a lot of people that smoke it, it helps them. So I'm always like, yeah, go for it. But weed it was what started my anxiety off. Weed was because my first moment it was with weed, yeah. And so I just kind of blamed it, and then years later, my anxiety came back, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" It's like that moment I had on weed,
Yeah.
but it was kind of the same thing. But I think weed just like unlocked it, and a lot of people that advocate for weed are like, "Yeah, because there's something in the weed that makes you. It's trying to tell you something, bro." It's like, yeah, but it caused a fucking shit time in my life,
major
didn't it?
trauma to
You know what I
you.
mean? Yeah.
It's fucking.
So you know, but I'll never ever be that kind of person that wants to ban shit. You know?
No, not at all.
I'm always for. I think the way Portugal went was good, like where they decriminalised everything.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm similar to you, like whereas, you know, I see the benefits of fucking weed for millions of people, and I wouldn't want to take that away from anybody. And I fully acknowledge that. Well, weed isn't for me because I'm a warrior anyway, and the bloody blah.
Yeah, I'm the same,
but
mate.
Like, B is that fucking I misused it. You know what I mean? I abused it at a young age, and you know, drugs can be a cruel mistress, man. You got to treat it with respect.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I'm like fighting my own philosophy sometimes because. People who are like so anti-drugs, I don't like them either. Like, do you know what I mean? People that fucking proper, unless they've experienced something, then you can see like, oh well, I can tell why you're so anti because it. Fucks,
like there's a lot of underlying reasons, whether that would to be.
But people
had a brother that fucking had a heroin overdose or whatever along those lines. It's more than understandable, but I'm not anti-drugs.
I've been around too many people that are just like they look down on it so much, and I'm just like, yeah, but. It can open your eyes if you use it in the correct way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also, you know, drug use is a quick relief for people, and when your life is fucking shit, when your existence is wank.
Yeah,
I completely understand why people would want to get away from that for an hour.
That's the whole point of it, I think.
Yeah, I think. Go on, mate.
But that's what was happening in my circles. When I was in Stoke, like, is I've started realising that we're doing this because we're just trying to escape our responsibilities here. We're trying to escape our own shit landscape, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew that, and I was like, I need to change it rather than try and run from it, you know?
Yeah, I believe the thing that we're missing most is an education towards drugs. Like, I believe it's time for us to be a bit more mature about it,
a bit more honest about it as well, like the way they talk about it in schools. I was like a proper academic child in school, and I was so anti-smoking, anti everything in school. And then
what happened, mate?
And then I grew up a little bit, and then started questioning everything and everything that I'd been taught, and fucking everything that was drilled into my head. And I was a good kid, And then all of a sudden, I think it was when I was in college, just something changed. And I thought, no, fuck you. All this was bullshit, like, you know.
Yeah. When we at that age, like if somebody told me not to do something,
Yeah.
if it was somebody as a figure of
authority,
authority, I tend to want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, so
that's what happened to me after, though. But I didn't. It
yeah.
took me until I got after from when I left school. That's my personality developed then.
Yeah.
For my fucking absolute hatred and for like authority figures as
Yeah.
such. But whilst I was in school, I wish I could go back sometimes. Could be like. Because some of the shitty things that people did and teachers did as well. Like,
yeah, you'd love to challenge it.
I'd love to go back and be able to
Yeah.
challenge it now because I've got my brain now. I've got quick wisdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've thought that a few times. Like, I reflect on school. Sometimes I think, like, they teach, like, the curriculum and stuff. Like, it's fundamentally fucking bollocks, mate.
Well, the system,
like,
we've been using the same system for so many years, haven't we?
Yeah, it's
And that was
completely obsolete, man.
Yeah.
I'm especially, it sort of made me realise it over COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with my sister, she's only 7, and just the stuff she's learning and getting stressed about as she's 7 years old. I'm like,
Bloody hell.
it's fucking useless.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's useful for some, but it's not useful for all.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
like it would be so much more beneficial for regular kids to be educated on day-to-day things that when you become an adult,
Yeah.
often people of our generation are like, you know, fucking John Travolta me, like, what the fuck you doing
Mate,
here, man?
The biggest lesson for me adulting was when I moved here, and now obviously like this is my house, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just it's basic things like fucking washing my clothes every day, washing the dishes after myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Looking
yeah.
after myself, cooking my own fucking meals. I felt like I've grown the most in the last 2 months than I have in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
for sure. You know.
absolutely, man. It's a really important thing to do, like moving out and
But also
finding your own way.
That's at a discredit to my parents who think that it's fucking dead hard to wash clothes and stuff now. And I'm like, mate, that's what my dad was moaning about for years. I'm like, fuck this, man. This is easy. This is an absolute doddle,
Mate,
man.
I'm fucking addicted to putting a wash on.
I love it. I was saying
Yeah.
to Mark the other day, he said, you should mention this on the podcast, Reece. He keeps saying you should do a podcast where you just sit and talk to yourself because you fucking, the shit that you come out with. But I was basically saying how much I actually enjoy washing clothes. There's something
Mate,
dead therapeutic
I love
about
cleaning.
it. Yeah,
I fucking love it.
It's good for your head though as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You fucking got a clean space.
Yeah.
You've got it gives you a clean mind to it.
But
to
now
an extent.
I really disrespect people that aren't clean now as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you scumbag.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, like
why is that
fucking-
cushion on the floor?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it fucking taps into certainly my OCD, but I've got OCD, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's the one side of OCD, like I've not got the sort of cleaning OCD to a really severe extent anymore.
Yeah.
But what I've been left with is wanting to be a clean person,
Yeah.
and
It's not.
I'm almost all right with that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm almost quite thankful for that. Like, it stresses me out sometimes, but it's a part of me, and I fully accept it. And I've got a fucking clean house because of it, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
good,
all
mate.
bad.
Do you live on your own then?
Now, I live with my friend Joe.
Right, okay.
I was in a band with him. Yeah, I doubt you would have heard of him. Like, I was my first band. I was 13 when it started, 14 when we started gigging.
Christ, you were
But
doing
the-
it early, weren't you?
Yeah, the Current, and Joe was in the Current.
It rings about. I mean, are we the same age? How old are you?
I'm 23.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I thought you were my age.
Oh,
I'm
you're
27.
man, me, man.
I know you are. aren't you? Bloody hell, man. Oh, no way.
No, I've just been fucking knocking around here for so long.
You have, haven't you?
Like a fucking bad smell.
Crikey, man. You smell alright. You smell alright
thanks,
tonight, mate. It's alright. So, can we talk about music then?
Yeah.
So, what's the ethos behind this Walter persona that you've created?
The ethos, I've tried to incorporate me, essentially.
Do you feel like this is like your most authentic one?
I do, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's cool, man.
I try to incorporate everything in terms of, you know, I fucking love Coronation Street. I'll fucking incorporate Corrie into it, into
How?
like my aesthetic and shit like that.
Okay.
Like on my first gig, I played at the Underground, and I had I brought a table with me, and I I put like certain ornaments on the table that had a lot of meaning to me. And I had like a model ship that was my granddad's. I had, what else did I have? Fucking shit now. Don't mean that fucking much to me. But various stuff. One of them was a Corrie teapot.
Okay.
And I would like people to sort of interpret the project as something that's quite wholesome, because it is essentially just me and a guitar. I don't have many plans to incorporate much else other than maybe, well, Jack, violin man, plays with me when he can.
Unless you produce a song, I guess, and
and
add a little bit more to it.
Yeah, but even then, things might develop. But for now, it's just essentially me and a guitar, maybe a few synth sounds here and there. But yeah, I like authenticity is definitely
it's key.
Is key to this project.
It's funny because I've come at a time in my life now where I can't help but be authentic anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think before it's easy to try and be someone, and then as you get older, it gets more tedious and it gets boring trying to put on a persona.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
my experience anyway.
Yeah, and
so now with the Fox Are Right thing, I feel like this is my most authentic project because it just literally is me. I can't explain it any other way.
And I feel as you get older, it's easier for you to be more comfortable with yourself.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I like to expose my love of Corrie and fucking my mental illnesses and I don't know what else is fucking embarrassing about me.
Well, just need to watch my stories, mate. You know what's fucking embarrassing about me, like, and my TikToks.
I like to sort of just expose that and sort of push down the fucking barriers and the fucking persona of the stereotypes of being a musician. You know what I mean? Like rock and roll and
like your life's so wild.
Like fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, being wild's fucking bad for me, mate. Yeah. Like, I like to have a nice routine. I like to drink a bit of sparkling water. Watch a bit of Corrie. Fucking play music, have a good time, but eat me 5 a day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's fucking.
I'm with you on that, mate. 100%. It is fucking rock and roll at the end of the day, because you're going against the grain, aren't you? Like, because that's not what's expected of us anymore. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, I got carried away for a lot as well. Like, I used to fucking. It's like when you say about smoking and doing drugs and stuff, and I wanted that persona. I wanted it.
And I wanted people to think I was a fucking lunatic. Yeah,
I did. And then it got to a point where it's like, this is really pathetic, this is. And why do I want that? Is it because the people that I look up to do that? And now, the people that I look up to, it's funny, isn't it? Because it reflects on how you live your life. The people that I look up to now are people that have gone past that, you know?
Yeah.
But also that have been through it, done it, but finished it and left it behind, you know?
Yeah, I think when you're growing up, especially with, role models of what me and you might have seen as role models, see living a rock and roll lifestyle and shit. Like, when I was younger, Kurt Cobain was a massive influence of mine, and I used to fucking study the guy and think
romanticize about all
romanticize about his drug use and like, it's a bit weird because in the end he fucking killed himself. Like, that's the seriousness of his drug use. Like, why is that cool? You know what I mean?
Or did he kill himself?
Oh, here we go.
You are speaking to me.
I knew something like that to fucking come up.
No, to be honest, that's one of the conspiracies. I haven't really gone that far down the rabbit hole. And
no, man, I think fucking Courtney Love gets a bad time anyway.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough, man.
I got you.
I just know she's a good friend of Noel Field, so Noel Fielding.
Who, what? Them two mates?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm pretty sure they are, yeah.
Oh, no way.
She's sound, isn't she? Like, you know what I mean?
Friends with her. I would trust Noel to only have good people around him.
I would, man. So, have you got any gigs lined up, or is it?
I've just played like a quite a run of gigs.
So you went back to the Sugar Mill, didn't you?
Yeah, I've played. Well, I've been since that open mic that was. Oh, sorry, mate. That's probably me fucking knocking it about with my elbow. I've played I've been playing open mics ever since that night when I played an open mic.
Yep.
It's really good. I love getting out. I'm an extrovert. Like I've sort of come to that realization. My sort of head was telling me for a long time that I'm introverted, and
you can always be a mixture of things, you know. There's never any binary, because I always think sometimes I'm very much introverted, but put me in a situation where I need to be extroverted, I'm fine. I'm perfectly capable. Yeah. So I think they call us ambiverts, where you can do a little bit of both, you know. Like I'm happier on my own. I love being in solitude, and I can't understand people that don't like being in solitude. I always see that as like
it's quite uncomfortable for some people, isn't it? But I don't mind. Like, I was an only child for a long time, so I sort of learnt to be comfortable being on my own. But now I've found a word for it. I'd say I probably am an ambivert, but probably a bit more lean towards extroversion.
Yeah.
But I in terms of open mics, like I love it because it gets me out, and I love being out and about.
Well, it gives you reason, gives you purpose.
Because I don't drink anymore. Well, not to a fucking great extent.
Not to the extent.
I'm not going out and getting pissed and wasting money. I'm just going out, playing music, meeting good people.
Socialising.
But going back to what you asked me, I've played quite a string of gigs. My first gig was supporting Johnny Brown, from Twisted Wheel.
Oh shit!
They were big about.
I know. Yeah, I remember Twisted Wheel. Yeah.
They
played the Sugar Mill a few times, didn't they?
Yeah. Johnny Brown he's a really sound guy.
You're good mates with Danny Stenkel as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking.
I played with him at it was the Backyard with the Slammage Club girls.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was meant to play that.
Oh wait! Oh shit! Yeah, you were.
Yeah. Pulled out.
Fucking hell, man! It was a good. That was good. That was probably one of the last gigs I played, actually. Which is why I need you to help me when you get these gigs sorted. Yeah,
absolutely.
You can try and help me sort something out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to make a move on this project now. I've got a lot of material that I want to get out.
That's sort of the avenue low tide are going down now. Really, is events. We put on our first event that I played at as well. Actually, well, I don't know when this will go out, but it was last week before.
This will be out in a few days, this one.
That was safe. It was at Captain's Bar.
Oh yeah.
Which is fucking ace, man. Yeah. And it was an acoustic night. Perfect for acoustic music. Mm-hmm. Like, it was brilliant. Like, had friends and family in abundance at the show, and it was just a really nice atmosphere. And we had some fucking cracking artists on, like my mate Jack, violin man. I think we should know who he is. I shouldn't need to go.
I was saying something sad happened to you, Matt. You know what I mean? My mate Jack, the sad guy with the violin. Oh man,
he was. He opened. He does like some solo stuff on a loop. He's like a fucking sick Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's
like if Ed Sheeran was good and he played the violin.
Yeah.
He would be Jeff.
Right.
But
if I have Ed Sheeran on this podcast, I'm sorry. I was, this was just the stage that I was at now in my life.
He was fucking scraping the barrel. But and then I had a guy called Hayden J Barlow on. He lives around here. He's got a fucking voice of an angel, mate. Honestly. And then Luke DeCiccio, who is absolutely fucking stunning. Like, he just like encapsulated the whole crowd to just be immersed within his music.
Captain's Bar.
Yeah, it's stunning, like absolutely stunning. He come all the way from fucking Bath, played in front of 30, 40 people in Stoke. Like, he's such a humble guy.
What did he think of it then? What did he think?
He loved it. He fucking loved it. He got a really good reception. Everyone really appreciated his music, and like, he didn't even fucking expect to get paid. Like, mate, you fucking come all the way from Bath, man, to Stoke.
To be honest, I've changed my mind about this fucking getting paid shit, right? Because I'm pissed off at the minute at the fact that everyone's in the shit, aren't they? We know that, we understand that. But there has been a few situations in my last couple of gigs where I don't think I've been paid enough for what I've done. And then I was told last week when Bathtub came up, Ollie from Bathtub did a podcast, Ian. I think he was telling me off air about how much they expect you if you're doing a gig in Manchester. They usually say like you've got to sell 50 tickets before you even make a cut. And I was like, fucking hell, I've just had problems back in Stoke. I was thinking that it was going to be easier moving up to here and getting gigs on, you know.
Yeah.
But like what you said to me that when I met you at the Pint Pot about, is it easier to put on gigs in Manchester than it is in Stoke? And you were saying it was.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, in terms of getting crowds in,
It's kind of like a guaranteed culture in Manchester, I think.
Yeah. Like people come to Manchester for
Yeah.
gigs. They don't necessarily do that as much in Stoke.
I think Stoke it works really well off hype. So if you hype something up really well, they'll usually follow. You know.
Yeah, I would never want to discredit the Stoke scene because
Well, I can't because I'm part of it. You know.
No,
and I'm not to blame as well because I wasn't exactly going to loads of gigs myself. You know,
I think
for the sake of it.
Stoke's cultural scene is amazing.
Oh, it is.
I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a few years ago when they might have got stitched up. Oh, I don't want bad mouth.
Go on. I'll bleep it out anyway if you don't want.
All right, bleep that bit out. I remember when did a documentary.
I know what you're on about.
Stoke.
And they fucking slagged it off.
Yeah.
And he made out like there was nothing at all.
Yeah.
But I thought the same thing with the City of Culture as well. Is it
Yeah.
I thought they did a fucking wank job
Right.
at promoting the music scene because they just stuck on the Robbie Williams thing.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. And I was like, mate, you could have gone to the fucking venues. And they didn't. They just stuck with the story about, oh, this is where Robbie Williams was born and this is Robbie Williams' dad. And it was like, wow, is that really what we have to offer? Is that the Stoke music culture? Robbie Williams was from here. You know what I mean?
I think it's very easy for a lot of people.
It pissed me off because there was a lot of people that put in so much time and energy in their own fucking pocket to get it promoted, to get it out there. And they really believed that we could win it. Because obviously everyone wanted a piece of the pie as well with the price, you know, because you get sponsors, don't you?
Right.
But like to see people working so hard to try and promote the city and the culture that is the Stoke music scene, which is fucking meant, in my opinion, but we're going to say that because we're biased.
No, it is.
And then to see it not even get presented at all, nothing that they put on the table got presented.
No, it is a shame, man. I wasn't sort of not really clued up on that, to be honest, but it needs to be celebrated, especially because when you think of Stoke, well, not us, but somebody like when I say to people I'm from Stoke or whatever, they don't sort of think, oh, what a great music scene. Whereas it's like sort of a given in Manchester. So the people that do know that it's such a great music scene is that the people that know it's such a great music scene. You know, we need to fucking say it, like, you know what I mean? Be proud of it, like, and it doesn't stop with music to me, like, you know, all sorts of cultural happenings around the city.
Yeah, loads of characters.
It's fantastic, like, it's full of great creative people. And
absolutely.
It should be celebrated.
I think the one thing I'll always go back to in Stoke, and this is something Martin Gooding told me about, you know, Martin, didn't you?
Yeah.
He was saying, because he's from Rochdale, isn't he, originally? You're saying the good thing about Stoke is, mate, you could be dialed up in Stoke so easy because obviously, like, you know, the capacity, it's quite a small population, so everybody knows everybody. This is what the wonderful thing was when I went back Stoke the other night, went going in the basement and I knew everybody there. And it was just like, fucking hell, I'm back. You know what I mean? Whereas it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
But the culture here is nice enough that I think bands and artists that aren't from here get a really good reception.
Yeah,
and people
absolutely.
are genuinely interested to talk to you and get to know you. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was so easy making friends that night I came to that gig.
Yeah, it really is, like, especially when you, in terms of, like, musicians and stuff like that, and creatives that come to the city in terms of, with the hope of gaining a career, you know, everyone is in the same boat who wants to achieve that.
Yep.
And therefore, why would you want to be a twat to someone? Because it just gets around, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like, and why be a shit person?
Well, what I don't understand is, because there's, you know, I work with Samantha Lloyd, and she's like the queen of fucking controversy, right? Because everything she puts out, she'll get loads of shit for it.
Right.
And she came in the other day and we were trying to work. I was like, why do people fucking hate you so much? Like, and I think it's because of her success. It's because she's always, everybody knows her, you know. And I think there must be something, there must be a slight hint of jealousy or something in that, you know.
Right.
Because the people that do slag her off haven't got nothing going on, you know. But it kind of pisses me off that kind of attitude is from the place that, you know, is from my hometown, Stoke. People don't understand you can jump off the success of other people and piggyback off them, and that's a much better way to go about it, because you build each other up then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
rather than putting people down. And I think with the Samantha Lloyd thing, what confuses me is that people go to put her down rather than build her up first. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, she's built me up because now I'm producing for her, and I know for a fact as soon as she starts releasing music, because she's got her fucking streams already. She's got a bloody TikTok account with 160,000 fucking followers.
Yeah.
She's in the fucking Daily Mail every other week, like, because she's posting another TikTok video.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's going to help me, so why would I, even from a logical perspective, why would you put them people down, you know?
Yeah.
If it's not something speared by spitefulness. You know?
I think a part of the journey that we take as well, any success isn't purely from your own doing, it's from the help of someone else. And it's massively important to pass that on, because, you know, it's a privilege to have had those experiences and gain those contacts, if you like, from people that have wanted to help you genuinely because they believe in you. And to sort of take the ladder away for people, I think it can tap into the insecurity of thinking that they might steal what you have.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that to be the case. I believe there's enough to go around, you know, if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And you work hard enough,
I believe
then
that too.
success will arrive, and you won't have to spite anybody else for it.
But I think maybe it's my age thing, where now I feel like if I never become successful in music, I kind of accept that anyway. I'm just like, well, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the old boys now, so like at least pass it on and make sure other people don't miss the buzz, and that's my concern now. You know?
It's important, because I feel as though if you to take the mindset of being like, no, they can't fucking have that, I don't want to help them, like, it just turns to bitterness, doesn't it? You just turn bitter, and I believe it's important to help each other. We're in a community, you know what I mean? Like, just need to fucking give each other an hand. Life's hard enough.
How was this gig in the Sugar Mill then?
Yeah, Average
You
Joe.
played with Average Joe, didn't you?
Yeah, it was brilliant, mate. I think everybody had some worries who was playing of like what the crowd would be like in terms of attendance, because you know, the spike and in cases and people being concerned of, like, you know, having to isolate for Christmas and stuff like that. So I didn't really know, because I had a few people like share their concerns and not want to come to the gig.
Yeah.
But it was a really good crowd, man, and you know, I got a good reception. Even though I was on early, there's a good crowd there, supportive, and it was great, man. It was weird though, because even though I've played there in front of, you know, it's a sellout show and stuff like that, it felt like a real step up in terms of what I'd been doing, because I've been playing a lot of small venues in the last few months in front of very sort of intimate crowds, and sometimes that can be more intimidating than playing in front of big crowds. But because being back in the mill after like 2 years of not, and being on the stage, and it felt like a massive step up. That's to be honest, I got a bit nervous.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it on fucking... That only happened to me, though, when I first started the FAR thing. And obviously now it's Fox Right. Like, I've had to change the name because there's too many FARs. But I do feel like it's me now, that Fox Right thing. It fits my personality. I've also got a fox on my arm, so it just makes complete sense, doesn't it? But yeah, because I'm never really used to getting stage fright. I always feel most natural when I'm on stage, actually. It's kind of why I've always kind of wanted to go at like doing stand-up comedy as well, because I like that attention. I like that validation on stage.
We all fucking do. Musicians,
we all need it, don't we?
Bastards.
But only when, you know, after the pandemic and we didn't play for like, I think it was like 18 months or something daft like that. whoa, that first time I went up, it was like, Jesus, that's like the first time I've ever played in my life. I completely lost my like
mojo.
Yeah, completely lost my mojo, man. Like my usual
Yeah.
confidence.
It's an alien
But
feeling.
it took me 2 or 3 gigs to fully settle, and I feel like I could do it now easy. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's not too long ago that I did last did a gig.
Yeah, I get nervous all the time when I was playing. When I was younger, I sort of had the advantage of like that
Drugs.
naivety. I've never played a gig
I have.
fucked.
I have.
Never.
Yeah.
I've been pissed, but not like leathered. I've been pissed once before a gig, and it was at the time when I didn't release, so I was fucking throwing myself everywhere. It just made me feel fucking sick. So I got a fucking belly full of fucking ale.
You were pretty fucking wild, weren't you?
Yeah.
On stage.
Yeah.
What's your persona now then? Because it's acoustic,
Well,
is it
I've
more?
got a guitar in my hand, so that's sort of very restrictive.
Is there a lot of call and response with the crowd? Like,
Yeah, a bit in a bob. Like, I try to make use of the stage still.
Yeah.
And I try to be quite conscious of my interaction between songs with the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't want to be... Well, going back to the authenticity of it, I want to translate my genuine personality across. You know, I like to take the piss out of myself, and I like to take the piss out of life, and make light of a lot of horrible experiences that we all sort of deal with. You know, I think sort of belittling traumatic experiences that we go through, like, it certainly helps me anyway. And yeah, just I would want somebody, well, I don't know if I'd want somebody to feel like something, you know, they take from it what they will, but it would be nice if someone were to say to me, you know,
They had an emotional connection to it.
yeah, like, I think there's a beautiful thing in the simplicity of a guitar and a vocal, because it does feel very intimate and it does feel very personal, and I think that's perfect for what I'm doing. And it's
There's something to say there about how it's personal when you keep it that simple as playing an acoustic guitar or just playing piano or something.
Yeah.
I've noticed now the way been writing my songs lately hasn't been, usually I'd write a sick beat and I'm bigging myself up there, I'd write a sick beat. I'd write a beat first on my computer, I'd do the production, and then I'd figure out the lyrics as I go, and then do the lyrics after. And now, like my last 4 songs, which I think is going to be on an EP, it's just simply me sitting on a guitar, which I haven't done in years, because I'm used to writing electronic music.
Yeah.
And writing 4 chords,
Yeah.
and just singing to 4 chords and going, fucking hell. And I think these 4 tracks that I've got are my best songs I've ever done, because I can translate it easily on an acoustic guitar, you know. And I don't think I'll go back to a different writing style, or I might just stay on this particular writing style for a long time now, because it's really working out for me. Like,
I've been toying with an idea for like a song, a EP title name, and something, it's like a thought came to mind the other day of just something along the lines, the beauty of simplicity, because I feel as though what's forced upon us in modern society is perfection. And I think imperfection is
perfect.
Yeah.
I get you, man.
Exactly.
I know that from a producer's point of view, because one thing that I pissed my band off a lot about was the fact that I'd never want to finish a song. I'd be like, there's always more, I could always better this, I can always redo the mix, something not quite. And it took me a while to realise I'm just trying to chase something that doesn't even exist.
We live in an imperfect world, you know.
So you might as well express it that way.
Yeah, like we live in an imperfect world.
But don't do shit mixes. Make sure your mixes are good though, you know what I mean?
Not.
Just not perfect.
Yeah, we live in an imperfect world, so if you're chasing perfection, it's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always something you could do or you could alter. But, you know, we all have insecurities of our imperfections, and it's about time we celebrated them instead of trying to perfect them.
I think that's a really nice way to conclude the podcast, man. Shall we leave it there?
Yeah, man.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
Thanks for coming in.
It's been a pleasure, man.
It has. It's been an education, been a bit of a emotional outpouring as well. You know, it's nice. It's nice to speak to someone that's willing to be so open. Because I think when
I'll
people
talk about any old shit.
when people come in, I always think like, oh, maybe. Usually, I ask if there's something that they don't want to speak about.
Yeah.
And then if that subject comes up, then I'll just fucking quickly brush past it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to be honest, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, respect, man.
Nice one, man.
Right.
Thank you.